My name is Katie Grant. This is my presentation titled, Oh Baby, This is Fun. This is for LTEC 4121, and this is my audience. They're going to say their name and how many children they have.
My name is Nina. I have 2 kids.
My name is Heather. I have 2 kids.
My name is Erin, and I don't have any kids.
Okay, and now I'm going to set up the camera and begin. Okay, so like I said, this is about basic infant care. Slide. Okay, so a little bit about me. I have been married for almost 11 years. I have 2 children, ages 6 and 2. I am a junior at the University of North Texas, majoring in development and family studies, and I love being a mommy. Slide. Okay, so I found these fun facts about parenting that I've been a mom for 6 years and didn't realize some of this. Research shows that women take an average of 2 minutes and 5 seconds to change a baby's diaper, whereas the average man takes only 1 minute and 36 seconds. Now, I think that's because we're perfectionists and we want to get it right, and men just don't care. This is also very interesting. Air fresheners may cause diarrhea and earache in babies, says scientists. They found that infants in homes where air fresheners and aerosols were used every day, 32% were 32% more likely to suffer from stomach and ear complaints, which is very interesting because I use air freshener all the time. Okay, a mom will change on average 7,300 diapers by their child's 2nd birthday. That is crazy. And preschoolers require mom's attention once every 4 minutes or 210 times a day, which is a lot of time out of your day attending to a preschooler. And if you have 2, double that. Okay, slide. Okay, so basically we're going to go over baby's basic needs. And when I say baby, I mean newborn baby, just from the hospital. They have 5 basic needs: love, food, health, sleep, and stimulation. And of course, knowing that sleep is the biggest one, they sleep a majority of the time. Slide. Okay, so the first thing we're going to go over is bathing an infant. It's the first thing you do, getting them ready for bed, usually. So we're going to go over, this is the baby I'm going to use. We're going to name him Carlos, and I'm going to use him to demonstrate some things. So when we're bathing a baby, what do we need to get started? There are a few things. A bathtub, which I have this one. This is just a bathtub you would fill with water and use it on your kitchen sink or your kitchen table. Really don't recommend putting a newborn baby into a full bath of water because of their umbilical cords. So you need a bathtub. You would need baby wash, which I have a couple here. This is Johnson's Head to Toe, and then just baby shampoo. I love this one. It's my favorite. Because you buy 1 bottle of it and you use it for their hair, everything, their whole body, their hair, everything. And then a washcloth, a clean washcloth, which we have one here. A towel, which I love these towels. They are just a hooded towel. This was my son's. He doesn't fit in it anymore. But, you know, it keeps them warm, their head's warm when you take them out. And then lotion, which here is lotion. I never use lotion on either one of my kids because they screamed every time I put it on them. They didn't like it. I don't know if it was the smell or what, but it wasn't something I used until they were older. And then for newborn babies, you have to have Q-tips and alcohol. Because you have to clean their umbilical cords every day until they fall off. And usually that's done at bath time. And another thing I forgot to mention is this. This is very important when you have a newborn. You have to have this on stock because you always use this before you handle your baby, bathe your baby, change your baby's diaper. You ask your guests to use this. It's very important. Slide. So, a question. How often should you bathe a newborn baby? Heather, how long would you say? How often? Every 2 days, okay. So answer is, pediatricians recommend several times a week. So I would say 3 or 4 times a week. Why? Because newborn babies do not get that dirty. And bathing them every day will dry out their skin, and it's very sensitive. So, you know, other than maybe getting a little milk on them, they don't get dirty. They don't claim the dirt. So, you know, every 2-3 days to bathe them is fine. Slide. Okay, so moving on to the fun part. Diapering a baby. I've got some things here, but what I'd like to go over first is what brand of diapers. Every mom is different on the brand they like. Pampers, Loves, Huggies, or just the regular off-brand. Target, Walmart, every store has off-brand diapers. My personal favorite was Pampers. I liked them the most. I found that at night they didn't leak and the baby stayed dry through the night. They are the most expensive, but get what you pay for. And then cloth diapers. It's the new thing. Moms are going back to using cloth diapers. They even make them. They buy the material, they sew them and make them. I personally am not a fan of cloth diapers, but if that's your cup of tea and you're good at sewing, go for it. Okay, so I have a diaper here, and it's a Huggies. So I'm gonna show you how to put that on Carlos here in a minute. What types of wipes to consider? Here I have Huggies as well. These are my favorite types of wipes, and then also like the Target brand type. But there are things to consider, like some baby's skin is very sensitive, so you have to buy sensitive skin wipes, or scented or unscented. I like scented because it smells good. But sometimes babies can't use scented wipes. And then diaper cream. I have 3 here: Desitin, Balmex, and Ointment. My favorite is this one. I love it. I love it for everything. I use it on myself, on my chapped lips, for my kids. It's my favorite. And so, you know, you do have many options on what you pick. And again, it's up to your baby too. If your baby has sensitive skin, maybe they're allergic to Balmex and you can't use that and you have to use something else. So I'm going to show you how to put a diaper on. It's pretty simple. Of course, you clean your hands with hand sanitizer. You take the baby, you open up the diaper with the flappies down. My favorite thing to do is take their 2 little feet in between your fingers, raise up their bottom, slide the diaper under so that the flaps are showing. And then you take this front part, lift it up. Now, here's where you stop. Because most babies, when they're newborns, have their umbilical cord. So, a lot of times you have to take the diaper and fold it under, or there are special diapers you can buy that have the cutout, so you don't have to worry about that. So, let's say this baby, Carlos, still has his umbilical cord. We'd fold it over, and then pull up the tabs securely on each side, and voila, he has a diaper on. Now make sure you don't put the tabs too tight or too loose. There's kind of a good middle there. Okay, slide. Okay, question. Do any of you use baby powder on your babies when changing a diaper? No? No? Have you ever experienced that? No? Okay, did you know pediatricians no longer recommend talc-based baby powder due to babies inhaling it into their lungs and making them sick? Instead, using a cornstarch baby powder sparingly and always put it in your hand first and then apply it to their bottom or the diaper. This is Johnson's baby powder, and I never really paid attention to it, but it does say pure cornstarch. So it looks like probably most of the baby powders are going to that. Probably back in the day, it was the talc-based, which is dangerous. So just keep that in mind if you do use baby powder. It is good for like chafing, or if they have diaper rash, to keep them dry. Slide. Okay, so dressing an infant. There are a few things to consider when you are dressing a baby. Always consider the weather when making outfit decisions, of course. At bedtime, you use either nightgowns or zip-up onesies. Avoid using ones with buttons just for your sanity. If it's 3 a.m. and you're trying to change a baby out of an outfit that they just spit up on or pooped on, you really don't want to mess with 45 buttons going up their belly. You want something like this that is really simple. It buttons at the top and then it zips, and voila. It's easy to get on, it's easy to get off. Another thing that pediatricians recommend is washing clothes in Dreft or some kind of detergent for babies like that. It doesn't have to be Dreft until infant is 6 months old. Just because their skin is sensitive and they need their clothes to be compatible for their skin. So while dressing your baby, this is fun. Talk to him or her about what you're doing. I know it sounds silly, but your baby will love it. And it's a way you can bond with your baby. So I'm going to dress our little Carlos. I start by just picking him up. And I like, first of all, you would unzip the onesie all the way down. I like these the best. They're called Sleep in Plays. My kids lived in them. And you would just put him in, lay him on here. First put one leg in and get his little foot in. Another nice thing about this is that they're footed, so you don't have to worry about socks. Put their other leg in. This is so cute. And then take one arm and put it in. This one's really neat too. They make all the Sleep in Plays now because they come with built-in mittens. So at the end, if your baby scratches their face, or usually that's why moms use mittens, or if their hands stay cold, you can take and fold this over to make a mitten over his hand. And it does it on both sides. So we put both arms in, and then fold it over to make a mitten, and zip it up. And it does have a little button here at the top. Always button that because it holds down the zipper, so it doesn't cut their little bodies or anything. It's kind of big on it, but there you go. Okay, next slide. Okay, so swaddling an infant. This is something that they do in the hospital. After you have your baby, they'll roll them down that little buggy and they're all swaddled together. And nurses are really, really good at just doing it really fast. And it has shown a lot of good things. Reducing the risk of SIDS, which is sudden infant death syndrome, which has become very common in babies these days. There are lots of things you can do to reduce the risks of your baby dying from this. It promotes safer sleeping positions. They say if moms will swallow their babies, they're less likely to put them on their bellies, which we know now we're not supposed to put them on their bellies. They're supposed to sleep on their backs. So if we swallow them, we'll be forced to put them on their backs. It helps the baby to sleep longer. They feel secure, they feel safe. If you have them all together, that's how they were in your womb. So they're going to sleep for longer periods of time, which is good. And it increases breastfeeding success. I didn't really breastfeed my children, but I've heard and read that if you swaddle them and breastfeed them, it's easier because they're not moving. They're like a little football. Okay, I wanted to show you some of the swaddling. This is actually a swaddling blanket that you stick the baby down inside. And this is kind of a new thing. That you just stick them down inside here. Or they do have the old-timey swaddle. These are just regular little receiving blankets, they're called, that you can stick your baby in, wrap them up tight. It works the same way. Most infants fit in these blankets perfectly. Okay, slide. Okay, so your baby is now ready for bed. Whew, are you exhausted? Most of the time you are. By the time you bathe them, usually feed them, dress them, change them, and swaddle them, you're exhausted. Okay, so just a few things to never forget. Always put your baby to sleep on his or her back. It is recommended by doctors to do that now. Always leave stuffed animals and other blankets out of the crib at bedtime to prevent suffocation. And my favorite, sleep when your baby sleeps. I know this is hard to do, but if you do it, you will be happier and less grumpier. It is hard to do it during the day, I know, I've been there. But if you actually would do it, it would make you a happier mommy. Slide. Any questions? No? Okay, that concludes my presentation.